If you have a Yamaha O1v digital audio console and an iPhone or iPod Touch, you might be interested in watching the rest of this video. I've developed a system for remote control of the O1v console using iOS devices. For the purposes of this video, I'm using an older iPod Touch running iOS 5. If you are familiar with this type of console and have perhaps looked into wireless control, you know that the O1v requires some extra device bridge so that the Wi-Fi network is connected to the console's MIDI ports. For this purpose, I am using the Network MIDI session, which is built into all Apple Macintosh computers beginning with OS 10.4, also known as Tiger. This includes the now ancient PowerPC devices, so this system might allow you to get some use out of that old box or laptop that's in the closet. In this video, I'm using a single-core 800 MHz, not gig, megahertz, PowerPC iBook with 640 megabytes of memory. The external MIDI interface can be anything compatible with your computer. So now let's look at what my system can do. As you would expect, you can control the faders. You will note that sometimes I'm only moving one fader on the iPod, but two faders are moving on the console. This is because my app presents you with multiple screens of 6 faders each, and any of those faders may be mapped to any input or output on the O1v. If the channel in question is part of a pair or group, you can control many faders with one gesture. It works very much like the remote layer, user-defined, on the console, and with some extras, because you have 10 pages of 6 faders available, and you can use whatever names make sense to you, and you can lay them out in any grouping order you want, including repeats. For example, if you want to make sure that the main fader is always present. You can also select the auxiliary sends for the displayed channel. This is the equivalent of selecting an auxiliary button in the fader mode section of the console. I have implemented auxiliaries 1 through 4 at this time. This would allow you to mix monitors from the stage. Now, let's look at the other essential element of my system, the channel strip. It doesn't look exactly like a channel strip, but I have managed to get the usual and customary EQ and dynamics parameters onto one screen for your convenience. I'll change the gain in the low mids, and I'll change the bandwidth and the frequency. Now, I'll switch the console to display dynamics. There's already a threshold set, so now I'll put some ratio in, so compression will actually take place. There is much more to the system, which I won't detail in this video. There are provisions for storing complete setups, libraries of channel settings, direct control of scene recall, and even an FTP utility. I would also note that the way I have structured the code, it would be relatively easy to add support for any console that allows MIDI control of its parameters. If you have further interest, email me at theapp, all one word, at norvan.com. Norvan. Thank you for watching.